Hi, my name's Sarah Jane Brown, and this presentation is going to look at legislation that is appropriate to training and the trainer. First, I'm going to touch on the Equality Act 2010. This protects people from discrimination related to any of the 9 protected characteristics. Those characteristics are age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage and civil partnership, pregnancy and maternity, race, religion and belief, sex and sexual orientation. The Act applies to people in employment or users of public and private services such as training. There's a number of ways it can apply when training is undertaken. Obviously, for those with disabilities, we should not be discriminating against them by having an environment in which they cannot access. So it's making the training accessible. If they have certain special needs regarding presentation material or hearing needs, then it's making the presentation or communication of the training suitable so that they can properly understand it. Equally, as well as the trainer being aware of the needs, it's important that the group dynamics are understood and that any of the group are not allowed to be discriminatory against or gang up on others in the group. So it's very important from the trainer's point of view that they ensure a safe environment for everyone to work in, where everyone is treated fairly and has the same opportunities to contribute to any discussions. The Health and Safety at Work Act is the principal health and safety legislation. There is a general duty to look after people's health and safety, whether it's those in your employ, your colleagues, or those not in your employment. So some of the things you need to think about when training is a safe environment to learn in. So that means the avoidance of any slips and trips. If you're putting computers or projectors up, making sure that cables are tidied away or securely placed under mats, that the electrics are safe, that there is good access and egress from the training venue, and that even things like temperature are comfortable for those that are learning. The Data Protection Act 2018 is the last piece of legislation I'm going to look at. This controls how your data or your personal information is used by organisations, businesses and the government. There are 8 data protection principles. Your data must be fairly and lawfully processed for limited purposes, adequate, relevant and not excessive, accurate, not kept for longer than is necessary, processed in line with your rights, secure, not transferred to other countries without adequate protection. Some of the things to think about as a trainer is if you, for example, are emailing information out to your students, making sure you blind carbon copy the students in so they cannot see each other's email addresses. Obviously, for some sort of group discussions, it might be quite useful to share email addresses, but that has to be in agreement with the group before that is done. Data must be held securely and destroyed after a period of time. It's always good when having students sign up to courses to make sure that there is a data protection statement on any forms which explains how their data will be used and what will happen to it on completion of the course.